Welcome back to part 2 of the illustration of the evidence room in Appleby Castle, the Appleby Castle hotel in which I stayed the night a little while back. Here I am going over the furniture in the room with a much darker wash of red, blue and brown. So that's what you can see there, and as you can see it's looking much darker, that dark wood color of the 17th century furniture in the room. I hope it is 17th century like the room. Here it's where I'm going over Bella's hair. I'm just putting some water there all over the area in which I would like to apply the color. And now I'm going over with some yellow. I'm not sure whether it's Windsor yellow or lemon yellow, as I like. First applying some yellow so that when I later apply another wash of color, this yellow will give me the illusion, or will give the illusion of some light coming through her hair. So I tend to start with a yellow color every time I paint someone's hair, a character's hair. So hopefully I will achieve the same this time. It's the wet on wet technique, in which I first apply water and then go over with wet paint. So that's what the artists call wet and wet. Then I'm working on the puppy as well. I like applying also a yellow color so that again I can depict some light shining onto the puppy or any object I'm painting. If I want to show that the light is reflecting, not reflecting, it's on the actual puppy, or whether I would like the effect that some light is coming through darker shades later on, or darker washes of color. So here I am going with a light brown so that I can start building the darker color of Bella's hair. Her hair is dark brown, so I just like building it up so that you can have a more dimensional sense of her hair, and then it will make it look more realistic, rather than putting a very dull block color all over. By putting layers from light to dark, it will give a more dimension to her hair, and I have found that it works really well. But going back to Appleby Castle, it's a very the history is really interesting. I was reading about Appleby Castle, and it says, the information said that it goes back to Roman times, and it was originally, the fort originally built there was to protect the crossing over the River Eden, and that an excavation in the 1960s revealed that the remains of a Roman well was found in the basement of the castle. So the history is it's really interesting because it goes back a long, long way. And the information said that it's one of the few intact Norman keeps in Great Britain, and that at over 900 years old is the oldest part of Appleby Castle. So I'm sure that people who are into history will find that information really interesting. And I'm so pleased they have made Appleby Castle into a hotel, because they hold all sorts of things there, like weddings. So that would be lovely to get married there. Here I'm going over Bella's arms with a wash of red and burnt sienna. So it's more or less just brown and red. And I have also added some yellow just to get the right skin color for Bella. And then just work all over to try to give some sort of dimension to the arms as well. And it's wet on wet. But in part one of the video of this illustration, I said that the carved bed, 4-poster bed, and I'm not sure if I also said the room, the evidence room, was a 12th century room and a 12th century bed, but I wanted to correct that because I made a mistake. It's actually a 17th century 4-poster bed that was built with the wood and the materials found in the area, in that area of Cumbria. So I think when I was speaking, I wasn't fully aware that I was saying 12th century, and I wanted to correct that so that I'm not giving you the wrong information. And I'm going over now Bella's face, and normally apply a yellow wash first, again because I like the light to be for the light to come through on the faces. It's something I like to highlight. So there I'm applying the yellow, and then I'll be working with the skin color once that dries a little. As you can see, I applied Artist Blue Mask on the eye, just a dot on each eye, so that I can some white will show on the darkest part of the eyes, the pupil, which is the reflection of the light showing life. So I did that at the beginning before I started painting her, and I actually applied some on the puppy's eyes as well. So looking at the timeline of Appleby Castle, it's really interesting. The timeline starts from the year 75, and it says that from 75 to 150, the Romans built a signal station on the cliff overlooking the ford on the River Eden, close to the road from York to Carlisle. So that is fascinating. And the timeline shows all kind of kings and names of lords of the valley of Livenet or Livenet, a few miles west from Appleby. Which, by the way, the Appleby, the town, it's really beautiful as well. When we were driving through, I loved the architecture of the houses, and I actually wanted to stop to have a look around, but unfortunately I ran out of time, because I did walk a lot around the castle. And what else did I do? No, I think the time just went being in the castle and admiring the surrounding areas. So unfortunately I was not able to explore the town of Appleby, but I'm hoping to go back one day and explore some more around there. I'm trying to paint the white gown that Bella is wearing, and also the sheets of the bed, which are white. And I'm trying to get used to the idea that although when things are white, you still need to apply some kind of color just to give that three-dimensional effect to your painting or to our illustrations. So it wasn't possible for me just to leave everything white like the paper, because then it was just going to look all flat. So I was trying to think of the colors that perhaps were going to help me achieve that effect or that look, that the night dress was white. However, it looks as if it's a three-dimensional object or piece of clothing, and I opted for Payne's Grey, which is a very dark blue color, at least in the paint set that I am using. That's think it tends to be grey, but sometimes the Payne's grey comes as a very dark blue, and I thought that was perhaps the best option for me to use rather than a brown or a different color. And I'm just going around the outline of the dressing gown, just working slowly, applying color until I'm happy with the effect. I was hoping to play some music with this video, but it hasn't been possible yet because I'm not very familiar with this program. So I'm just trying to do the best I can just by chatting to you and by painting in real time. I was hoping to speed the videos, but again, that choice was not given to me in Power Director, as I'm just getting used to it. And if I like it, then I will perhaps get the full program, and which will give me those choices. At the moment, I have a limited choice because I'm experimenting with the program. But yes, I just wanted to add some more information when I went to Cambria. From Cambria, I went to the Lake District and had a look around the beautiful scenery of the Lake District. If you haven't been there, wherever you are in the world, and you manage to come to Britain, the Lake District, it's a place that you or anyone would love. The beautiful hills, the lakes, the little towns, the sheep on the hills. Everything just looks so mesmerizing, soothing, breathtaking. It's truly special, and I had such a lovely holiday there. I was lucky because it was a beautiful sunny day as well, so I managed to sit outdoors and I had a drink there in the sunshine. People around looked so happy because after being in lockdown for such a long time, we were able to be outdoors, and people were everywhere having drinks, having ice creams, talking to their friends. Everyone was just really happy. There here I'm just trying to achieve some sort of shadows to show the folds of the sheets of the bed, of the bedding really. So I'm just playing it by ear here, just applying a wash of a light brown and see how it looks. And just trying to get that three-dimensional effect again. And I hope that it is going to work. We will see. You can see that in the canopy I've put a lot of shadows underneath the canopy, and I have tried to give a more wood effect with the colors I've been using, but still trying to let light come through the washes. I didn't want to just apply dark brown or black, because it would not look as if the light is reflecting through or on the actual object. So I wanted you to notice that, to see that it's very important to be thinking of the light coming through. And also I applied a blue, I think it's again Payne's Grey, on the tapestry section where I put all the artist blue mask. But then when I rub off or I take off the artist blue mask, the flowers, the what do you call, the outline of the flowers, they will be all white, which means I'll be able to then paint them in any color that I choose. And I just keep working on the night dress. I have made a couple of mistakes as I have been painting. One was on the actual window, on the glass panel. I applied some blue. Earlier on you saw me trying to wipe it off with a tissue. I've more or less managed to take it off the paper. There is still a little mark there, but I'm hoping it's not going to show when all the other colors, the strong colors that I'm going to be applying, is there. So hopefully that bit there won't show. Also on the bed, at the end of the bed, it was supposed to be all white with the sheets, or part of the end of the bed, the wood perhaps has to be there instead. Sometimes when with all the outlines of the pencil, and when I'm putting all the washes of color, sometimes I get slightly lost and confused what's part of the bedding and what's not part of the bedding. Anyway, in this occasion, because the bed, I felt it was quite complex. All the four posters, the 4-poster bed, it had 4 posts, and then it had extra posts on either side towards the end of the bed. So I think that confused me at the end when I started painting, and I was not observing carefully at my reference picture, so I made that mistake. But I'm hoping to correct that, and you will see that at the end that hopefully I will have managed to correct that. Now I'm working on Bella's mouth. I hadn't noticed when I started painting originally, just well, no, it's more than a year ago now, about 19 months ago, that when I had first started, I would leave the mouth white and just paint the tongue red or the teeth white. But after observing more and more the characters in other books, in children's picture books, I noticed that they tend to be really either a dark purple or a really dark color when people are either laughing or surprised. and the mouths are open, the characters' mouths are open. I realized I had to change that. So now I paint the mouth when the mouth is open, a very dark color, and I tend to go for a very dark purple, and then I put some layers of either Payne's gray or a neutral color of red, blue and green or brown to make it much darker, almost black, depending on what I'm trying to achieve. And I'm trying to give some kind of dimension to the eyes by applying a darker skin color around the eyes, and just work my way around so that you can see more of a socket line, and then some cheekbones, achieve some cheekbones as well, by applying a darker skin color or red on the cheeks. And just working my way slowly, you know, I managed to achieve that. Anyway, I'll continue in the next video.